Okay, so hi everybody. My iPad's doing weird things when I try and record videos. So this is on my iPhone. I am trying to figure something else, but my old camcorder's not working either. So hopefully I'll have a better option at some point soon. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up what I read in the end of April after the readathon and in May. So here we go. The first things I read after the readathon was I finished rereading Trickster's Choice and read Trickster's Queen by Tamora Pierce. I love this duology. I think they're some of my favourite Tamora Pierce books, and I love Tamora Pierce. So I reread those, and seriously, I've read them so many times, but I still cannot put them down. So they're pretty amazing, and they're about Aliane, who is Alana, the first of Tamora Pierce's female characters. She's Alana's daughter, and she gets kidnapped by slavers, ends up in another country, and ends up trying to protect these girls who are the hope of the native people. And yeah, so she's got this bet with the Trickster god, and she has to protect these girls. And it's all spycraft and really, really brilliant. So there were those. The next thing that I read was Macbeth by Shakespeare. I'd never read Macbeth before, but it was one of my texts for my English lit class that I was doing at the time. I read an awful lot of short stories in that time, but this was the only full text. So in that particular month, so I read Macbeth, which not bad. It's not my favourite Shakespeare play, and I'd prefer to see it performed, I think, but yeah, so that was classic. And after that, I read, an audiobook. I'm experimenting with audiobooks. I'm a bit fussy about audiobooks because regular audiobooks tend to put me to sleep, but I do love audio plays, so I'm experimenting with full cast audiobooks. And I'm going through the ones that I have available for Tamora Pierce. So in May, I listened to Wolfspeaker, which is the second in the Immortals quartet, which is the first quartet that I read, and I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Dane Sarastri. And so Wolfspeaker is the second book, and in it, Dane and her teacher go to the Valley of Dunlath because her old wolf friends have asked her for help because the humans are ruining the valley. And so she goes to find out what's going on and try and help wolves. So yeah, so I listened to that, and that was awesome. And then I picked up and read another Asteric Omnibus. I'm kind of really, I'd forgotten how funny these are, and as an adult, I think they're even funnier than they were as a child. And so this is volume 9, which contains Asterix and the Great Divide, Asterix and the Black Gold, and Asterix and Sun. And so yeah, that was really enjoyable. And following up on that, I read One Small Step. Well, I finished One Small Step, which I was reading in the readathon, so I finished this in May, which is an anthology, an Australian anthology for Australian female authors. It was published in 2013, I think. It's edited by Tehani Wessley from Fablecroft Press. And yet it was on the theme of the idea of a one small step. And so science fiction and fantasy stories about discoveries and new ideas and taking those small steps to something new. And they were amazing. There were certain ones that I really loved. So Firefly Epilogue by Jodie Cleghorn I thought was really beautiful. And as always, Tansy Wayne Roberts' Cold White Daughter, which was a retelling of a certain very obvious childhood novel that I loved from a different perspective. So that was amazing. And I really loved D.K. Mock's Morningstar and Kathleen Jennings' Ella and the Flame. So that really, really good book. I really recommend that one if you really like short fiction, or if you want to discover some Australian short fiction written by really awesome women. So that was good. And then after that, to end off May, I read a couple of ebooks. So the first one was Cassandra. Oh, that's really glary. Probably can't see that very well. Sorry. But Cassandra by Jann Rowland, which is Jane Austen variation. It's Pride and Prejudice, the basic tale, but it starts out that, what if, ask the question, what if Darcy had been married before and had a daughter and his wife had died? And so he had experienced love before, and then he met Lizzie, and how would that change the story? So it's another romantic tale, and of course they end up together, but... So I love Jane Austen variations. They're silly, but they're my guilty pleasure. And then finally I finished off on ebook half off Ragnarok by Seanan McGuire, which is the third in the encrypted novels. This one, instead of being about Verity, which the first two novels are about, this one is about her brother Alex. And it's, you know, an awesome adventure, and he's working in a zoo sort of as a cover while he tries to breed basilisks, and someone gets found dead. And it's definitely from a supernatural origin, and so Alex has to figure out what's going on and try and protect everybody, and also protect the encrypteds, because this could expose their world to the Covenant. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. You know, as always, the Aislinn mice. I love the Aislinn mice. The Aislinn mice are awesome. But yes, that was the last one I finished in May, and that is my wrap-up. So yeah, I hope I haven't rambled too much. I am not really editing these videos, but so I guess I'll see you again next time. Bye.